Buongiorno and welcome to Tortellino time. I'm continuing with the Valentine's Day meals proposals, and today I will be catering for vegetarians and I'm preparing a beautiful eggplant or aubergines parmigiana, but this is not the normal one that you'll have seen somewhere else. This is something different. I will be pairing the parmigiana with some Rosties, which I will be doing on the air fryer. But the parmigiana will be done on the hob on a frying pan or skillet, whatever you call it. Cooking time is not going to be very long, so I will be boiling my potatoes almost 90% of the way there. Couple of medium-sized eggplants, I'll chop them in half, bang on in the middle. I made a little mistake, I should have taken this off first. Come back into this one, just like this. And using a little knife this time rather than my monster, I'll go along and score it lengthwise like this, and this way as well, so that I make some incisions so that they cook faster. Not all the way through, just a little, so make sure that you do not pierce it. So you'll end up with something which looks like this, and it's going to be very easy to put a little salt and just rub it in, and it will go inside as well. And the salt will help the eggplants sweat and release some of the water as well. Followed by some pepper. Peeled and chopped an onion, this is white, you can also use a red one if you like. Today I will be removing the skin from this clove of garlic. And I'll give it a firm bash so that it disintegrates a bit like this. A little olive oil in a frying pan or skillet. What do you call it where you live? Skillet or frying pan? Julie and I were having a little chat earlier. She was saying it's a frying pan, but I say it's a skillet. What do you call it? Garlic goes in, and the onion. As you can see, my potatoes are simmering nicely, and my onion and garlic is beginning to sizzle. And I'll leave, I'll turn it down a little, but I'll leave it to sizzle for a good couple of minutes now. Temperature is on medium, and I'm making some space so that I can add all of my eggplants together. Don't worry if they don't fit perfectly, they will shrink in a little while. And I'm adding a tiny little amount of water, literally a couple of tablespoons. I'll place the lid on and I will leave them for a good 10 minutes. I'll turn them around in a little while so that they cook throughout, and the steam will cook them very healthily because they are inside the saucepan with the lid on. 7 minutes in and I'm ready to turn them around. This will also give me the opportunity to check the water level, and we'll need some more, but I'll turn them first. You can see that they're beginning to cook as they're changing in color and they're getting this lovely golden shade on the top. But as the bottom of my pan is a little bit dry, I'll add a little bit more water. Lid goes back on and I'll leave them for another 5 minutes. I just drained the potatoes, as I say, 90% there. Chopping some fresh rosemary from my garden, but use dry rosemary if you do not have access to fresh one. Add it to the potatoes. Followed by some smoked paprika. I'm breaking my rules today. I will be adding some salt beforehand and some pepper. That is because I'm doing them in the air fryer. A little olive oil on top to ensure that they cook properly. Now this is a trick which I learned a long time ago, and I do that sometimes. I'll give this a good shake, and purposely I'll try and damage them, and because they are 90% cooked, it will make them lovely and fluffy. There you go, look. But I'll put the lid on and leave them until I'm ready to pop them in the air fryer so that I can time them with my eggplant. 5 minutes on and we can remove the eggplants from the pan, and if you look, oops, they're a little bit softer, so be careful, but you can see that they've changed in color. They are a little bit translucent, which is a good indication that they are cooked, but also they're a little bit bendy. And I'm ready to make a little sauce now. I've got a lovely base and I'll add a tin of chopped tomatoes. This is thyme which we keep in the freezer. I will be adding, I don't know, maybe a little bit, just under 1 teaspoon or equivalent, making sure that the strings are not attached. Mix it in well. Quantity wise, I think mine was just under half a teaspoon, but you can put as much or as little as you like. Also, you can use rosemary or you can use oregano if you like, entirely up to you, whichever you like, could be either. But now that it's boiling, I'll put the lid on and I'll leave the sauce to cook for a good 5 minutes, and then we can add the eggplants back in, which coincides with the potato ready to go in the air fryer. And remember, as I did actually mix them inside my pan, go back and get all of this out as well. And that's it, ready. I'll put this on for initially 10 minutes, and halfway through I'll show you a little trick to make them look even more spectacular. The sauce is cooking lovely, and I can now start adding my eggplant to it. Be quiet. So in they go. And ensure that the cut side fades up. And using a spoon, I'm now moving some of the sauce inside my eggplants, and this will ensure that, as well as cooking more, the flavour from the lovely sauce will go also inside the aubergines. And I'll leave them on a medium temperature. I'll place the lid on, and they can cook for another 10 minutes now. And here is my little trick. I did not mention the temperature, by the way, earlier, 200 degrees. So after 5 minutes, I'll got my potatoes with the flat end against my board, potato masher, or a fork if you like, and just go on top of the potato and give them a little squeeze like this. Do not worry, you're not going to break them. And even if you do, it doesn't matter, even better, like this one. It does look like I'm making a mess, but trust me, it will look absolutely lovely by the time they're done. And back they go in the air fryer, including any of the crumbs as well. They will be going back for another 7 to 8 minutes, still 200 degrees. Slicing a fresh mozzarella into little pieces. And using the larger teeth side of a cheese grater, I'm now grating some Parmesan cheese. And in the last few minutes is when I'm going to be adding my cheese. So I'll start with the mozzarella on top of each half of my eggplant. Using mozzarella as it is a flagship cheese in these dishes, but you can also use cheddar or Gouda if you prefer, followed by some Parmesan on top of each half. The lid goes back on, then nearly done, another 3-4 minutes, and that will coincide with the Rosties also being ready. And my eggplant parmigiana is ready. I have halved some pitted olives and I'm putting a few on top of each half of my eggplant. And of course this is all optional. If you don't like olives or sun-dried tomato, which is what I'm adding now, you don't have to, but they will go in very nicely if you do like them. A few leaves of basil from basil plant. This plant was repotted by Julie, and we have got a little video on La Vita variety on how we did that, as it was full of roots and so on. I'll put it up here if you want to have a look, and it's only a short video, so that if you got a little plant that you want to revitalize, you can do that as well. And just add some on top of the eggplants to garnish and also give some flavor. And here are my Rosties.
Yum.
Now you can see what I mean, because I crushed them and gave them a hard time. They've all given us this wonderful crispiness on top, and let's have a look. They're really lovely. So just imagine it's Valentine's Day, and you're about to sit at the table, and you are cooking this for your partner, and a lovely glass of red wine. What can go wrong? Besides the fact that it's really, really hot, so make sure that you blow it. Absolutely wonderful. Make sure that you've got some rustic bread that you can use to mop up the juices, and you're away. Try and see what you think. Arrivederci, grazie, and buon appetito.